guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Destiny, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the family. This week's video is another sugar related video, and I know you guys love these videos so much, so I'm back and better than ever. And today's video is going to be how to treat and prevent ingrown hairs. This can be for people that wax all the time, people that shave, people that don't do anything, because honestly, ingrown hairs are totally natural and they happen to everybody. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks along with some natural products you can use, as well as some over-the-counter products that you could just buy at your local drugstore. So if you want to figure out how to treat and prevent your ingrown hairs, just keep on watching this video and let's just get right on into it. Alright, so I'm just going to be reading all of the bullet points that I have here on my phone, and I'm just doing this to make sure that I'm touching all the points that I want to touch on, because honestly I can ramble on for days. Also, a little disclaimer, I am a licensed wax specialist, so I am licensed to wax and I do have credibility. So if you want to get this information, I'd rather you get it from someone that knows what they're doing. Do not put certain chemicals on your skin if you are not doing research first. Even if I'm giving you natural products to try out, I always recommend to test patch your products and make sure that you have no type of allergic reaction to it, because honestly anything can be in products and you do not know how your skin will react. So just be safe, and if you want to try any of the products that I'm going to recommend to you in this video, please make sure to test patch it and make sure that you're doing everything safely. So with that out the way, let's start. So my first bullet point is to have a solid pre and post wax regimen. And by that I mean exfoliating 2 to 3 times before, 2 to 3 days before your wax and 2 to 3 days after your wax. You should be making sure that you are keeping up with your post wax regimen at least 2 weeks after your wax, because if you are not keeping up with taking those dead skin cells off of the surface of your skin, you're not going to allow those hairs that are underneath the surface to grow through and penetrate through your skin. So if you do not do that, then you are asking for ingrown hair to be there. You're giving it the perfect environment to just huddle itself and keep itself inside of your skin, which is what we do not want. So if you are trying to prevent ingrown hairs, and if you're prone to ingrown hairs, I highly recommend to amp up your exfoliating regimen. At least 2 to 3 times a week you should be exfoliating, even if you do not wax. So if you are having trouble with figuring out what kind of exfoliants work for you, there are physical exfoliants like the body scrubs that have the little, they feel a little bit rough, like sandy type. You want to make sure that it's not too rough, like salt, because that can probably irritate the skin, especially if you've recently waxed. So I highly recommend a very grainy, like small grain exfoliant, an exfoliating mitt or glove, and I'm going to be putting pictures next to me so that you guys can have some type of photo to go off of. So like I said, a small grain exfoliant or body scrub. You can use an exfoliating mitt or a loofah, but if you are using a loofah, just make sure that you are switching those out like every 2 weeks, because they do harbor lots of bacteria and we do not want to put that on our skin. Next bullet point. Make sure that your hair is actually long enough to wax. So a lot of people tend to wax when the hair is a little bit on the shorter side, and sometimes when you do that the hairs do break off. So it might appear as if you had a very good wax, and then within the next few days you see some hairs coming out, and that is probably because those hairs are broken because they were not long enough to wax. So ingrown hairs can happen if you are kind of over waxing and not allowing the hair to grow all the way to its needed length so that you can have a really clean wax. So even if you are a person that shaves, you want to make sure that you're not shaving every day or every 2 days. You want to wait at least 3 days between your shaving, because you can irritate the skin. You're not allowing those hairs to grow out all the way, and if you're not exfoliating on top of that, you're just asking for ingrown hairs to appear. So if you're prone to ingrown hairs and you're shaving every day, honey, I'm sorry to break it to you, but right now that is not what you should be doing.
No ma'am. No ma'am.
You want to make sure that you're giving your skin some time to breathe before you are shaving or waxing the area, especially if the hairs are too short. And the proper length is about like 1/4 of an inch. Honestly, I don't go off of that. I go off of my finger. It should be at least like this long, like half of the top of your finger, or like as long as a long grain of rice, people say. So if it's that long, then you're safe, good to go. If the hair is not that long, then just give it a few more days. Give it a week if your hair is pretty slow with growth, but do not wax if the hair is too short. Next bullet point, wax regularly. Irregular waxing causes disruption of hair growth patterns, which can cause ingrown hairs. And I've touched upon this in some of my previous videos, but I'm gonna give a brief little explanation here so that you guys can understand where I'm coming from. So waxing regularly means waxing once a month or every 4 weeks. It really depends on your hair growth cycle and how fast your hair grows. Some people might not need to go once a month. Sometimes they need to go once every like 6-7 weeks type thing, you know. So it really just depends on you. But if you are, say, let's say you wax 3 times, like once every month for 3 months, you do that, and then you just stop waxing and you allow that hair to grow out. It becomes a bush, let's say, right, if we're talking about Brazilian, and then you decide to wax again after, let's say, 4 months. It's like getting your first wax all over again. Those hairs have grown out, gotten stronger, have gotten really comfortable in that follicle, and are really rooted in there. So that wax is going to feel like it's your first wax ever, and you're probably not going to get all the hairs out because your hair is now on a different growth cycle. So waxing every 4 weeks makes sure that you're getting all of those hairs out, and you're kind of training those hairs to grow at the same time. If you ever hear your wax specialist talk about keeping track of your hair growth cycle, or saying you should be coming in every month to make sure that that cycle stays on track, that's what I'm talking about. Next bullet point. If you have ingrown hairs, do not dig. Do not try to pop them. Do not try to yank them out. Make sure that you are leaving it and letting it breathe. If you have to, if you see the hair right there on the surface of the skin and you can see it, you can just make sure that you take like a warm bath, put a hot compress on it or a warm compress on it, and take a sanitized tool just to make sure that you're getting it out safely. If you have to dig for it, don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna cause scarring, you're gonna irritate that follicle, and you're possibly gonna make that hair grow in deeper, which is what we do not want, because you do not want to have to go to a doctor or dermatologist to get it professionally removed, because it could possibly hurt, and you're just gonna end up wasting your time, if I'm being honest with you. So if you have an ingrown hair that you can see on the surface of the skin, you can use a sanitized tool to take it out. And by sanitized tool, I'm going to show you guys what I use personally. So I got this pack of tweezers and blackhead removers off of Amazon, and there's one piece here. It has a needle end and also a hook end. So you can do your research online and see which ones will work better for you, but I found having these to be the easiest. I'm trying to find my best ones for you guys. So these would be known as ingrown hair removers. So literally it's just a small little needle. Let's see if my, oh, and there goes my whole thing, it fell off my lap. But this is what it looks like. It's a very thin needle. It might look thick because I have it very close to the camera, but honestly, compared to like my pinky, it's fairly small. So you want to make sure that you're using something like this, sanitized with alcohol. And if you have it, you can leave it in some barbicide with water, but I know if you're not a professional, you do not have that. You can get a shot glass or a small cup, put some alcohol in it, and just let it sit in there for about 5 minutes, just to make sure that there's no type of bacteria on there, because this will be penetrating the skin. So you want to be as safe as possible, and do not go digging all the way in. If the hair is on the surface, go in, take it out, and use a tweezer just to pull it right out. If you do not trust yourself, do not do that. But if you have ingrown hairs, I have had clients that had lots of success doing it themselves with the warm compress, the ingrown hair remover, and just getting it out safely. So this is the regular needle, and this is an example of the hook one. And this is for like kind of bigger ingrowns that might need a little bit more TLC to help get out. And this is much easier to use than the needle, because obviously there's a little hook here. So all you have to do is just go in, sweep it, and bring it right out. So I find this to be very helpful as well. So those are my top 2 to use, and I used to use ones like these when I used to work in a waxing salon. So I highly recommend these, and I'll leave a link to this specific pack, but I did get it a few years ago. I'm not sure if they have the same one. If they don't, I'll leave one that's basically the same. I'll try to do some research if I can't find this specific one, but I digress. This is great to use. Next bullet point, treat the area with ultimate care 42 hours after waxing. No working out, saunas, tanning, sex, or any activities that include friction or lots of movement. So I say this because saunas, tanning beds, they can irritate the skin and make it overexposed. So you do not want that extra sensitivity, especially if you've just recently got a wax. That skin is already sensitized because of all the waxing it's done. It's not a natural thing to do, you know what I mean? You're pulling off all the hair on your body, so you want to make sure that you are safe as possible. Do not go into a tanning bed, do not go to the sauna, do not go into the sun. If you're getting your face waxed, you want to make sure you're wearing a hat or something, because that can expose you to the sun rays and you can get darkness in the face. I'll show some examples of what that looks like. If you've ever been to like a nail salon and you've gotten like an eyebrow wax or a lip wax, I actually had a close friend that had went to a nail salon, gotten a lip wax, and got too much skin taken off during that wax and automatically went into the sun afterwards, and she got darkness like all on the top of her lip, which is not something you want to deal with. It took her quite a bit to get that darkness off of her face. So prevent that. Make sure you are being very strategic and just be honest with yourself. If you have a trip booked the day before your wax, that's probably not the right thing to do. And it might not sound that serious as I speak about it right now, but if you think about it, your hair follicles are open. You're going, let's say, to the gym right after your wax. Don't do that. I'm just saying it as an example, but don't do that. I've had clients that done that and then complained that they had ingrown hairs the day after, and I can only do so much. My job is to do the wax. Your job is to take care of it and make sure that it lasts as long as possible. I can only do so much in the room. The rest is really up to you. So make sure that there's no type of working out, no saunas, hot tubs, anything like that, because literally you will regret it. You will regret it, and I'm just telling you right now, make the right decision. Do not do that. You go to work out after a wax and sweat, dirt, debris, all of that stuff is getting into your skin, and it probably is gonna stay there if you are not keeping up with your post-wax regimen. So let's say you go work out, you don't even exfoliate the area after 2 to 3 days, you are not moisturizing, you are not wearing loose clothing the day of your wax, you're not taking care of the skin, you're asking for things to happen, you're asking for ingrown hair to appear. So if you do not want ingrown hairs, do not do those things. And I'm saying 42 hours because you want to allow time for those hair follicles to completely close and your skin to calm down. So you might feel a little bit raw in the areas that have been waxed because obviously you just waxed them. But after like a day or two, it's going to go down, your skin's going to feel normal, and you can go back to your day-to-day activities. Right after your waxing, you kind of have to treat it like a newborn baby, if I'm being honest with you. Just take care of it, make sure that you're moisturizing, exfoliating, and just taking it easy. Do not think about it too much, but don't not think about it, if that makes any sense. Alright, next bullet point, because I'm going off on a tangent here. Use natural products for aftercare. So I've said some natural products in one of my previous sugaring videos, but I'm going to reiterate it here along with some products that I have tried from like beauty supply shops and drugstores that I can definitely say work and have worked for many clients that I have referred these products to. So if you want to try some of these products, I'm definitely going to leave everything in the description box below. But like I said earlier, do your research, test patch, and make sure that you are safe. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you guys, you already know because I've said it in like every of my videos, and I actually have my little bottle here to show you guys. This is my tea tree and jojoba oil mixture. This was filled, and this gets refilled like every few weeks because I am in love with this. My boyfriend uses it too, which is why I go through it so fast. but I got this little bottle from Dollar Tree, and I got the tea tree and jojoba oil off of Amazon, and honestly this has been a lifesaver. I started using this once I started sugaring a few years ago, and I never went back to any type of ingrown hair products because this just works wonders for me. It's natural, which I love, and it never does me wrong. So if you want to try the natural first, highly recommend this. I think I do like 2 parts jojoba to 1 part tea tree. It really depends on the size of the bottle. I definitely recommend a small one to start out with because a little bit goes a long way. It just really depends on what body part you're using it on. Let's say if you're doing legs, you're gonna probably need more than this, but like Brazilian, underarms, lip, stuff like that, a small bottle like this is totally fine. Another natural product you can try is witch hazel. Just make sure that it has no type of additives in it, like no lavender or fragrances, because that can possibly make people break out. Fragrance doesn't always mix with people, so make sure that it's just like regular witch hazel. Give me 1 second. I think I do have a bottle of witch hazel. It might not be the original scent, but just so that you guys can have an idea of what it looks like, give me 1 second. Okay, and this is the witch hazel that I have. This is not the original one. This is the skin softening facial toner, and it has lilac in it. So I don't recommend to use this one. I mean, I have used it, but I really just like the original one way more. So this is why this one is not used that much. But this brand, Humphreys, is really, really good. And this one itself was only $6.49 from Health Max, if it will focus here. And this is what the bottle looks like. So you do not have to get this lilac one, just get the 100% original, and it looks like this just without the purple. So you can definitely use this. The only thing that I've heard about witch hazel is that it dries out some people's skin sometimes, but honestly, if you're using this and then moisturizing with your daily lotion, you should be fine. And this is safe to use all over the body, so is a tea tree and jojoba oil. Also, aloe vera, you can use the plant if you really want to. You can use aloe vera gel. Just make sure that it's natural gel, not just like the sunburn gel that has lots of additives in it, you know what I mean? So do your research and make sure that you're getting the natural aloe vera. And those are the 3 top natural products that I totally recommend for any type of waxing, shaving, or hair removal. And the products that are not natural products, but they are meant for ingrown hairs that I highly recommend would be Bump Patrol. I'll add a little photo here so that you guys can see what it looks like. It's a very small bottle, fairly like this size. This is like the size of my hand, and it really is for facial hair, like men's facial hair for when they shave and stuff, but it's meant for ingrown hairs. Guys, when I tell you that it works, and it's very inexpensive, I think it's like maybe $8. And I got it from my local beauty supply store because one of my old coworkers recommended it to me when I used to hard wax, and I used to get lots of more ingrown hairs. Since I switched to sugaring, I don't get as many, but if I do, that is the product that I always go for, and it's called Bump Patrol. It's meant for men's facial hair. But if I'm being honest, if it's safe to use on the face, it's safe to use anywhere on the body. So I've used it on my underarms, Brazilian area, obviously not the innards, like the outside, and it worked wonders. So Bump Patrol is definitely good to use. And then another product that I've heard works is Tend Skin. Tend Skin is the same thing. It's like a men's facial ingrown hair serum, and it works just as well, and it also is in beauty supply stores or drugstores. So if you just look it up online and Google, you can probably order it online or find it in store, but those are very easy to find and they're very, very affordable. So if you do not want to break the bank, those are 2 products you should definitely look into for ingrown hairs. Another one that I used to use and always recommend to my clients because we had it in stock in our store was PFB Vanish. PFB Vanish is like a roll-on serum, and I'll add a little photo here as well for you guys. I used to recommend this to my old clients because we used to sell it in store. It worked wonders. It is a little bit on the pricier side, so I say use Bump Patrol and Tend Skin before trying this one. But if you are a person that suffers from getting darkness in the skin, or like darkness in the underarms, darkness in like the inner thighs, my thick thigh girls know what I'm talking about. If you get darkness there, or in any type of areas that you frequently wax, PFB Vanish with Chroma Bright works wonders. I like that one way more than the original PFB Vanish. So this is what the Chroma Bright looks like. Same thing, it just has like a little bit of a different color and it says Chroma Bright. It is also a little bit more on the pricier side, but if you are a person that gets darkness in those areas, this is a product that is going to help treat that and the ingrown hairs. So definitely worth it in my opinion to try out, and honestly, can't knock it till you try it. And those are the only two products that I can actually say work that are on the more expensive side. I haven't tried anything else, if I'm being honest with you guys. If you do have a product that you found that has helped your ingrown hairs or skin darkening, leave it in the comments. I want to help as many of you guys as I can, and if you guys can give me some more products that I can recommend to people, or give people in the comments that are also wondering of some more ingrown hair products, lay it down. We don't want to gatekeep here, right? So let's help each other out. But I also have one that's worth mentioning because my old clients used to rave about it. Also my old co-workers as well. Fur oil, and it's a natural ingrown hair oil, and I'll add a picture here as well. They sell it online. I've seen a lot of individual wax specialists offer it with their services as well and in their studios, so highly recommend. I've seen it everywhere. All of my old clients used to rave about it. I haven't tried it myself personally, but I've heard that it's really worth the try. And those are all of the products that I have for you guys today. If you're thinking about trying them, like I said before, always test patch, do your research, and if you're on the fence about any of them, honestly, look them all up. Look up the price point, and whatever is within your range, go for that one. You do not have to go for the expensive one just because I say that it can lighten the skin. Honestly, you can try and do that with other natural remedies as well. I've also have tried a skin lightening soap that I got off Amazon. One of my old co-workers actually recommended that to me as well, and she was more on the heavier side, but she had very thick thighs and she suffered from having her inner thighs very dark, and that was the only product that was able to help with her skin darkening. That soap is, I think it's a Chinese soap. I'll leave it in the description as well if you guys are interested in that, but like I said, it's a skin lightening soap, so you're only supposed to use that on the darker areas of the body where you're waxing. So I do not recommend to use it on the full body because it's a skin lightening soap. You do not want to hurt yourself. You want to make sure that you're only using it on the areas that are needed. So I'll leave a picture here as well so you guys can see what it looks like. Usually comes in a 2-pack and it's very inexpensive, so you can use it for lots of other things too. So do your research on that too if you are interested in trying that one out as well. But out of everything, those are the only products that I will sit here and recommend to you guys because I know that they work. I've heard raving reviews about them, and I trust the people that have recommended these things to me. So those are some of the products that I wanted to share with you guys today. And then the last bullet point that I have for you guys is, if you're very prone to ingrown hairs, you might need to try a different type of waxing or take a break to let the skin heal and then start fresh again. So if you are a person that waxes very frequently and you're finding that you're getting ingrown hairs every time you wax, there's probably something wrong. You're probably missing a step. You do not have a very solid pre and post wax regimen, or you're just waxing way too often and you need to let that skin breathe. If you are a person that is hard waxing and you find that you are getting lots of ingrown hairs, I might recommend for you to switch to sugaring or another form of waxing, because hard wax can be a little bit more on the invasive side when it comes to your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin. So if you are one of my baddies that has sensitive skin like me, highly recommend to switch to sugaring, because I was one of those people that loved hard wax for its convenience but hated it because of the ingrown hairs that would happen afterwards, even though I had a really good pre and post wax regimen. So that is the end of my bullet points today. I feel like I've been talking literally for almost 30 minutes. I've been talking for like literally 30 minutes. Oh my god, I need some coffee. And that is the end of my bullet points today, which means it's the end of today's video. I feel like I've been talking for like 30 minutes straight. I honestly have, because I'm looking at the timestamp right now and it's literally 30 minutes. You might see this video to be 10 minutes, but honestly, when I make these, it's like a good 40 minutes of me talking to the camera, which is totally fine because I want to make sure I'm getting all the information I can in these videos for you guys. Also, let me know any more sugaring related videos you'd want to see, or any topics you want me to touch on that relate to waxing at all in the comments below, because I'd love to share more information with you guys. Just let me know what you want to know and I got you, babies. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. It definitely helps me out to continue to make content for you guys. I'm always excited to share new videos with y'all, and our family has grown for over a few months. It's been over a year I've been here on YouTube, and we're already over 33K, and I'm so incredibly grateful for all of you guys. So anything you want to see, definitely let me know in the comments and I will make those videos for you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Have a happy Tuesday, and do not forget to hit that little notification bell to make sure that you do not miss any of my new videos, and I'll see you guys next week in the next one. Bye.